Mr. Punch presents The Travellers Gazette, a journey into the history of the British traveller in 2 parts. Compiled by Sue Rodwell and directed by John Tuckey. Part 2, Travel Abroad.
Too often travelling is a fool's paradise. I am miserable, I want to get out of myself, I want to leave home. Travel. I pack up my trunks, say farewell, I depart. I go to the very ends of the earth, and behold, my skeleton steps out of its cupboard and confronts me there. Though I may tramp to the back of beyond, that grim shadow must always pursue me. Isabel Savory.
Lady Mary Wortley Montague, 4th of January, 1718. To Anne Thistlethwaite, Pera of Constantinople. I am infinitely obliged to you, dear Mrs. Thistlethwaite, for your entertaining letter. You are the only one of my correspondents that have judged right enough to think I would be gladly informed of the news amongst you. To say the truth, I am, at this present writing, not very much turned for the recollection of what is diverting, my head being wholly filled with the preparations necessary for the increase of my family, which I expect every day. You may easily guess at my uneasy situation, but I am, however, in some degree comforted by the glory that accrues to me from it. In this country, 'tis more despicable to be married and not fruitful than 'tis with us to be fruitful before marriage. They have a notion that whenever a woman leaves off bringing children, 'tis because she is too old for that business, whatever her face says to the contrary. And this opinion makes the ladies here so ready to make proofs of their youth that they do not content themselves with using the natural means, but fly to all sorts of quackeries to avoid the scandal of being past childbearing, and often kill themselves by 'em. Fire and plague are 2 things very little feared here, most families having had their houses burnt down once or twice, occasioned by their extraordinary way of warming themselves, which is neither by chimneys nor stoves, but a certain machine called a tendor, the height of 2 foot, in the form of a table, covered with a fine carpet or embroidery. This is made only of wood, and they put into it a small quantity of hot ashes and sit with their legs under the carpet. At this table they work, read, and very often sleep, and if they chance to dream, kick down the tender, and the hot ashes commonly sets the house on fire. There were 500 houses burnt in this manner about a fortnight ago, and I have seen several of the owners since who seem not at all moved at so common a misfortune. They put their goods into a bark and see their houses burn with great philosophy, their persons being very seldom endangered, having no stairs to descend. I am now sitting, this present 4th of January, with the windows open, enjoying the warm shine of the sun, while you are freezing over a sad sea-coal fire, and my chamber is set out with carnations, roses, and jonquils, fresh from my garden. I should go on, but I must send for my midwife.
Fanny Trollope, January 1828, Memphis, Tennessee. We presently found that the rain which had fallen during the night would make it hazardous to venture through the forests of Tennessee in any sort of carriage. We therefore had to pass the day at our queer, comfortless hotel. The steamboat had wearied me of social meals, and I should have been thankful to have eaten our dinner of hard venison and peach sauce in a private room. But this, Miss Wright said, was impossible. The lady of the house would consider the proposal as a personal affront, and, moreover, it would be assuredly refused. This latter argument carried weight with it, and when the great bell was sounded from an upper window of the house, we proceeded to the dining-room. The table was laid for 50 persons, and was already nearly full. Our party had the honour of sitting near the lady, but to check the proud feelings to which such distinction might give birth, my servant William sat very nearly opposite to me. The company consisted of all the shopkeepers, storekeepers as they are called throughout the United States, of the little town. The mayor also, who was a friend of Miss Wright's, was of the party. He is a pleasing, gentlemanlike man, and seemed strangely misplaced in a little town on the Mississippi. We were told that since the erection of this hotel, it has been the custom for all the male inhabitants of the town to dine and breakfast there.